Hello, everybody. What we got here today is an U.S. penny, Indian head penny, and its mint date is 1899. I always thought that was kind of a cool year. I mean, I was born in 1970, so I can remember very well whenever we hit the year 2000 and all the craziness that was kind of going around. Are all the computers just going to shut down? And I can remember in those days the internet was still in its infancy. So in order to check my bank balance, I would call on the phone to the bank, and it was automated. And it would, once you put in your passcode information, it would tell you how much you had in your checking account, and then it would tell you what checks you had written had cleared. And it would always say when the automated lady on the thing answered, it would always say, all of our computers are Y2K certified. And of course it all ended up being kind of silly and kind of crazy, but I'm sure anybody who's been around as long as I have, or even a little younger, can remember just how nuts that was. But anyway, at the turn of the century, basically going into the 20th century, when this penny was minted, a loaf of bread would run you a nickel. According to the inflation calculator, 1 cent is equivalent to 36 cents in 2022. So in 1899, a penny was worth 36 cents now. So it's a pretty big difference. Some other things that happened in the first part of the 20th century, and y'all can check on some of these. I looked them up. If you think I'm wrong, hey man, that's what the comments are for. Let me know. The first powered vacuum cleaner, 1901. Air conditioning, 1902. Though I think it was more industrial in nature. I don't think air conditioning for homes came along till quite a bit later. And even when it did, I'm sure it had to be ridiculously expensive. First flight, pretty easy one, 1903 by the Wright brothers. Plastic, 1905, and in 1906 radio. But again, on the radio, I think that was more of it was experimental, just coming out. It wasn't really broadcasting, and everything wasn't more common until probably around 1920. And of course, that was the main way that people got their information up until television came along decades later. But thinking about the penny, I was born in 1970, and when I was a kid in the 70s, or even in the early 80s when I was a teenager, if you were strolling along and you looked down and saw a penny on the ground, well, you reached down and you grabbed that thing. I mean, back in those days, if you had a few of them in your pocket, you could still buy, something, some candy or something, like that. But of course, now, I mean, it's not uncommon to see them littered on the ground, and nobody ever picks them up. It's not worth it. I mean, you'd have to have a shovel to make it, to get a shovel them up to make it worth your while. And the really crazy thing to me, and this is absolutely nuts, is the fact that they even mint them still. I mean, I could understand them minting them for collectors maybe, or something, maybe minting a certain amount, for people who want to collect them. But according to what I'm looking at on the internet, in 2022, they minted 15.7 billion pennies. I mean, think about that. That is insane. I mean, it costs more to make them than they're even worth. But I mean, hey, we all know that the federal government doesn't have any problem spending money. But they've been doing that forever. I mean, I didn't look it up, but I bet if I was to go back over the last 10 years, it's been I wouldn't be surprised if it's been tens of billions every year. And you think about it, I mean, I don't even hardly carry money with me anymore. I mean, it's rare that I have money on me. I just use my debit card. You send money through Venmo and other PayPal. So just the fact they still make all these pennies just seems kind of crazy. But I always like these Indian head pennies, though. This one is rather worn, so it's been handled a lot over the years. My mother told me once that she was born, I think, in 1944. She's still around. She said that these pennies were it wasn't totally uncommon to still get one in your change when she was a little girl. If you had a handful of pennies, they would be Lincoln pennies, but occasionally you would still have an Indian penny mixed in. I thought that was kind of cool. But like I say in a lot of my videos, whenever I look at these old coins and and I hold them in my hand, and it's just interesting to imagine where this 1899 penny has been and what it may have seen in its lifetime. And we are born, we live our lives. Hopefully, we live a long time, and have a happy life. And at some point when we get older, we're gone. But these pennies, these old coins, they're still here. They're still left behind. And it's just, to me, it's fascinating to think of, this penny, some little kid may have used it to buy some candy, when it was brand new and shiny. He may have gotten it, or she may have gotten it, tossed to him by the parents. Go down to the store, get you some candy with the penny. It's just, things like that just really interest me. Well, I guess that's about it. I'm gonna make more of these. It's kind of fun just to think about stuff like this. And if y'all like it, please, if you like what you heard, please subscribe. As of now, I think I have 0 subscribers. Of course, I just started making these videos, so. But if you don't mind, if you like it, I'll make more. And if you'll subscribe, I'll keep looking at these old coins, and we'll keep talking about them. I appreciate y'all tuning in today, and have a good one. Take it easy. Bye-bye.